All right, welcome everyone to a special called meeting of the Athens-Clarke County Mayor and Commission. It is Monday, November 9th, 2020, and we are here simply tonight to receive public comment, public input on the 6 anticipated tax allocation district zones that we're going to be initiating here in Athens-Clarke County. We have with us several folks from staff, as well as our outside counsel, Dan McCrae, who's assisted us in managing legal legwork to get these underway. And so we are going to go through one at a time and I believe provide opportunity for public comment individually on each of these. Manager Williams, is there any other introductory material you'd like the public to be aware of?
No, sir. Other than the planned adoption tomorrow night, and then we're working with the school district on them pledging their increment. But that's all I wanted to share.
Okay. All right. Fantastic. All right. So I'm going to go through these one at a time and provide opportunity for anybody who was in the City Hall chamber to provide public input. So
Mayor, if I might,
yeah.
I see Jean on here. She was having some technical issues earlier. She'd asked me to call roll just to make sure that we have everybody here.
Great, Blaine. I appreciate it if you go ahead and do that.
All right, thank you. Commissioner Davenport? Commissioner Parker?
Here.
Commissioner Link?
Here.
Commissioner Wright?
Present.
Commissioner Denson?
Here.
Commissioner Edwards?
Here.
Commissioner Harrod?
Present.
Commissioner Thornton?
Here.
Commissioner Hamby?
Here.
Thank you, Mayor.
All right, and I see we have a quorum. All right, so the first redevelopment area anticipated for a tax allocation district is that surrounds the mall on Atlanta Highway, roughly bounded by Huntington to the east, Cleveland to the west, and including some property on both the north and south side of Atlanta Highway or Highway 78. Is there anybody in the chamber tonight who would like to speak to this area? Okay, we'll move on to the second one. The second redevelopment area is the West Broad-Hawthorne area, right at that intersection, again, kind of further into town on Highway 78. Is there anyone here to speak to the West Broad-Hawthorne area? All right, we are going to move on to the third one. The third redevelopment area is the Newton Bridge Road area, just inside the loop on Chase Street and Barber Street and just outside the loop on Bridge Road. Okay, we'll move on to area number 4. Area number 4 is the East Downtown area, hugging the Coney River and stretching toward the Nellie B area. Is there anyone here to speak to that area?
Good evening.
Good evening.
I'm Dr. Allen. Dr. Shanice Allen. I live at 130 Meredith Ridge Road, Athens, Georgia, which is District 1. But I was born and raised in District 2. I have a business in District 2, Innovative Healthcare Institute, 100 Seagraves Drive, Suite 1 and 2. And I am here to speak in support of the TAD 4, which includes the East Athens area. Would like for the name to be a little more inclusive of the East Athens area. I am opposed to multifamily housing that could create traffic problems in the TAD. We want to be included in the TAD development, But we want to be able to have a voice in that development. We want to be able to be at the table to discuss projects that we think are important for that area. We do not want anything negative to impact our district. We want things that can improve the quality of life for that area. Workforce Development Training Center is an important thing that we would like to be included as a project. We want that training center to support workforce development training programs that can lead to permanent jobs for residents of East Athens. We would like a business incubator, something like a work, eat, live theme that includes single family income-based housing. And also something like we would like to initiate a blight clearance program focusing on Black-owned businesses relocating and being able to be sustainable in District 2. And I really would like for you guys to consider that. But most of all, we want to have a seat at the table and be involved in everything that goes on. We've been made promises for District 2 for over 30 years that we never got. And so we want to make sure that things happen in District 2 that will be promised on tomorrow night. We want to make sure it happens. So please, please, please think of us when you are making those decisions. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Dr. Allen. Good evening.
Hey, my name is Karina Gallagher, and I live at 325 Bray Street. I also own a business at that same address. So I am in favor of District 2 being added to the TAD for downtown. And I hope that there will be some conversations about protective barriers that go in place to protect District 2 from further development, like a moratorium on development. And I'm asking that we also look at a few other things in addition to being added to the TAD for downtown. So an updated land use map for District 2, and for us to complete a feasibility, not just study, but plan to look at housing and income disparities. In District 2, we are a food desert. We do not have a grocery store in District 2, so it'd be nice to have one of those. And I know utilities is one of the one of the major instruments that is being measured by the TADs. So if we could start including internet as a utility, that would be nice. I don't know if I can include this, but paying a fee for water bills when you pay online needs to go away. If that could be included in TADs. And regular cleanup for Arch, that would be nice, and have additional support there. And there is a vacant building that was used to, that was a daycare, and it's owned by the county. And I know a lot of you talk about affordable childcare, so maybe you can look into using that building for affordable childcare for families that need it most, particularly in District 2. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Gallagher.
Hey, good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening. Broderick Flanagan, 243 Sunset Drive. I have a business at 585 Vine Street over in the area for the TAD. I'm definitely in support of the TAD and the number 4 TAD. I want to, voice concerns over the process and making sure that it is equitable. I know Mayor Gert said there's going to be a great era of equity when he first took office. So this is an opportunity to make good on that statement by making sure that the community benefits agreement is done in a way that is representational of the area in East Athens where the development may occur. I know it's attached to downtown, so just being cognizant of like the people that will be on the committees that represent those spaces, but making sure there's a balance of power so that residents in East Athens can have a say on what happens on the other end of that with those projects. Potentially repurposing the police precinct that's over there by Nellie B. I know it's utilized in some ways, but I think it can be maximized in a lot of ways if you repurpose it to be of a benefit to the community. So maybe something like that could be a part of the TAG. But maybe putting a worker center in there or something like that, as was spoken to earlier. But creating, making sure that we incorporate local hires from the neighborhoods around the area to work on these jobs and creating like permanent jobs, like someone spoke to earlier. For residents from that area, from that specific area, not just people in the downtown area, because I know that will be included. And so looking at the metrics for that, making sure some of those residents come from East Athens in that triangle area. And making sure prevailing wages are a part of that. Looking at the wages, the wage scale, prevailing wages is some terms they use on some construction site, but across the board, we can look at prevailing wages, because I think as a part of governance, you're able to secure rights and balance power in those ways. And that's one way to affect the poverty rate. And making sure we have bus shelters at these bus stops. I've seen people at bus stops in East Athens standing out in the rain, from people young to old. And so, I understand that y'all did a study and to see how the ridership was at some of the bus stops. But I know there's a lot of people in East Athens that ride the bus. There shouldn't be a reason that none of the bus stops in East Athens have bus shelters. We need to address that in the TAG. I think that's about it.
Thank you. Appreciate it, Mr. Flanagan.
Hello, my name is Joseph Schmucker. I live at 287 Fairview Street, and I'd like to speak to some infrastructure issues that have been a constant plague in our community for quite some time. We are in great need of sidewalks and street lighting in many areas of East Athens. I'm going to go through a list of a few things right here. Sidewalks on East Broad, Arch Street, and Little Oak Street, and streetlights and speed bumps on Fairview, Vine Street, Little Oak, Moreland Avenue, Arch Street, Anderson Street, Booker Street, Bernie Street, Nellie B., close to Seventh-day Adventist Church, and McKinley. Now, on a personal note, I live on Fairview, and I bear witness to a lot of these issues occurring on my very block. For one, street lighting on Fairview Street is intermittent at best, and there are many dark spots along that block where it's actually dangerous to walk at night. In front of my house, I have a hill, and if somebody is in dark clothes at 2 o'clock in the morning walking down that street and a car comes along, it's possible somebody could get hit by a car. I'm glad that hasn't happened in the time that I've been there. Also, at late hours of the night on my street, cars will go 40, 50 miles an hour and blast right through every stop sign. You can hear it happening because everything's quiet, and you can the car just zooms right through the stop sign in my corner and goes right through the stop sign at Baker Street. It's a common occurrence. It happened 4 times about 2 o'clock in the morning last night. So we have a lot of issues in D2 when it comes to street lighting. Pointing out Bernie in particular, that is a very dark place at night, and it's a dangerous place because it's Haley Road. So just a few examples to illustrate, and I really want to thank the commission for including our district in the downtown map. I know this was the last minute occurrence, and your efforts are greatly appreciated. And thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Schmucker.
Good evening. Good evening. How you doing?
Good, thank you.
Good. My name is Tammy Foote. I live at 223 Fairview Street, and that's one of the homes that the East Athens Development Center Corporation built, and I purchased it. Lovely home. But I want to stay there, but I don't want to be taxed out either with all the development in the area. It was a low-income purchase, but part of the tab, we can just work on the taxes. But also we need funds to assist senior and low-income homeowners with the home improvements as well. We also need assistance with low-income homeowners to remove trees and repair roofs and water lines in the area for low-income and elderly citizens of our area. We also need in the moratorium for building by developers and investors, exclusion of homeowners and business owners to perform repairs and minor additions to homes and business to do updates to become code compliant and expansions to existing businesses. Also, we need traffic lights at Peter Street off of Loop 10, which we really do, because if you don't drive a car that go from 0 to 60, you may get hit by people coming down. If you do a traffic study, it could also indicate appropriate place for the traffic signal as well. And we also need repaving of the roads on East Broad Street and Arch Streets as well. And we definitely need speed breaks on Ferry Street. There's like Indy, the stop signs are obsolete, so we do need speed bumps. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Foote.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I am Dr. Diane Dunstan, and I am pediatrician, chair of the board of East Athens Development Corporation, semi-retired, and so excited to be here to thank this commission for considering District 2 as an afterthought. And I want you to know that we appreciate it because the people deserve better. Mr. Mayor, I have sent you copies of water bills almost every day. I hope that the TAD can help the property owners and the renters in District 2. I don't know if this commission knows that people are getting water bills to the tune of $200 and $300 a month. It is outrageous. And so as we are trying to help with utilities, I'm asking the mayor, do I use the CARES Act money to pay Athens-Clarke County water business $1,500 and $1,600 for poor, low-income families? They are stressed. Many of them have notices that the water will be turned off. The mayor has stated that that won't happen, and I want the community to hear that. But I was shocked, appalled today. $500, $600. People are paying $300 and $400 a month. Water bills in District 2, and they're all low-income families. I don't see it among other families. The infrastructure is atrocious, and we could do better. I'm sure that you can find a way to look at this quickly, because I think people are having anxiety and stress and can't get well because they think they have to pay $600 and $700 water bills. The TAD could help. I understand it's an infrastructure problem. One of the many that we have in District 2, and we can definitely use the help and support as a forethought, not afterthought. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Dunstan.
Good afternoon.
Evening.
My name is Shirley Taylor. I'm a lifetime resident of East Athens. And I would love for us to be a part of TASC, and that we will not be overlooking. One of the things that I like to see is senior citizens, to have an area that could accommodate them, especially on Warren Street and Bugs Apartment. We do know what that is, that we could turn that into a place for a senior citizen. I would like to see that. And income basic, which we could make housing include restaurant, Nellie B. I'm quite sure you are talking about it, but we would like to see restaurants and eating places and spaces that could be on LB, and funds to assist seniors with home repair. I know there are different type of programs, but we would also like this to be intact. And one other thing I would like to see, assisting low-income homeowners to help them to remove those large trees and roofing and water and repair. Because if anything happen and they're seniors, they can't afford to have those trees. The trees are huge, and it's just some of them leaning over on their property and over on their houses. And if this could help us, we would like to see TAG that East Athens be one of your major products first. I know other people are probably saying the same thing, but District 2 need all of the things that we are talking about. We know that District 2 Commissioner Parker is taking all of this and he will be helping us to make sure these things are happening for us. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Taylor. Anyone else here to speak to tab number 4? All right, we're going to move on to tab number 5. This is the North Avenue area, roughly bounded by the Loop and the Department of Labor building.
Hello, my name is Karina Gallagher. I live at 325 Bray Street. I own a business at the same address. So for North Avenue, for the TAD, if you all will consider cutting down all the kudzu that is on Old Hill Road so that we can see, that would be nice. If y'all could work with GDOT on the signage for getting on and off the loop. I've seen an increase in accidents right there with cars getting on the wrong way. Affordable childcare. There is a building that is behind Advantage Behavioral Health. If y'all will look into that, and it is currently vacant. Art, regular cleanup. That would be nice, and some additional support by, like setting expectations about the programs and services and the watering. And if in the TAD you can include regular conversations about expectations for the businesses up and down North Avenue and cleaning up their properties. It looks disgusting driving up and down North Avenue. So if the commission would set some expectations, then I think that area would look nice. And as you all know, U-Haul has taken over the little shopping complex over there by the Piggly Wiggly. So we could set some standards around what that looks like. I think that would look nice because it's not a good look right now. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Gallagher. I appreciate it.
Broderick Flanagan, 243 Sunset Drive. I forgot to mention the last time I spoke, but I think this applies to all the TADs, honestly. If you look at, I guess, where some of the TAD lines are drawn, like in some of the areas, there are residential places in some of these spots. So just being mindful of that and putting in proper protections. I know the Mayor and Commission signed on to a low-income homestead tax exemption or tax freeze. And so making sure you continue to push for that at the higher levels. So when you meet with the state legislators, or if you have one of those sessions again in the coming year, you can make sure that they put that on our priorities list, because that's one of the ways I feel like we can protect some of the neighborhoods from being gentrified as we're going through the process of doing this TAD. So thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Flanagan. Would anyone else like to speak to the North Avenue TAD? All right, we are going to move on to the final district, which is the Lexington Road Tax Allocation District, stretching roughly from the property across from the Central Services Station down to the corner of Cherokee, Lexington, and Game School Road.
Hello again. I'm Dr. Shanice Allen. I live at 130 Meredith Ridge Road, and I have a business on Lexington Road, right off of Lexington Road, 100 Seagraves Drive, Suite 1 and 2. And I would like the commission to consider when they're doing their business in that area. There are some small businesses along that corridor. And I know specifically that some business owners have had a hard time trying to get things done with being up to par for commercial if they purchase land in that area. And so it would be nice if there was a special project to help to recruit and assist small business owners so they don't have to compete with the larger businesses by having to make their business up to par to meet the commercial standards. So that would really be assistance with small businesses that are on that corridor. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Allen. Would anyone else like to speak to the Lexington Highway, TAD? All right, so that wraps up our successful 6. Attorney Drake, Manager Williams, do we have any other business to conduct this evening?
No, sir.
No, sir.
All right. All right, so we will see these tomorrow for adoption, along with the other elements of our normally planned work session and one small amendment to our CARES Act allocation. Also note that our retreat will be Thursday and Friday morning at Sandy Creek Park. If you have not responded to your lunch preferences, please jump on that email, and so that way we can make sure you get lunch both days from 2 local businesses. All right, all matters being complete, thank you everybody for being here with us, and we look forward to seeing you tomorrow.